the assignment about paradigms in crime, where you become a criminological theorist. In the first paragraph of that homework assignment, you go to your PowerPoint presentation. You choose either functionalism or conflict theory. You pick one, and you use the corresponding PowerPoint. You spend that first paragraph explaining and describing the three main ideas about that particular paradigm. Those three main ideas happen to be micro-level, organizational level, and macro-level interpretations of that particular paradigm. What is so interesting about that, the idea that you can talk about a micro-level or an organizational level or macro-level perspective on a paradigm, is that a paradigm is a huge frame of thought, which means that for each of those units, there are probably thousands of theories that have been designed to think and communicate about different realms of life from that perspective. Because remember, if you're a functionalist or if you're a conflict theorist, you're just using a certain mindset. That doesn't even touch the topic. So there are thousands of theories using each unit, but what you're trying to understand is a mindset. You're trying to grasp this idea that from a functional perspective, if you think about consensus, it's a majority rule idea that is based upon concrete laws. Positivism, the experts. The experts decide what is going to happen. The experts provide the vision. The experts help explain and describe what our destiny is because we have laws and rules and regulations that were written by the experts. You all, common people, you vote. You go in and vote. But you don't write the law. So that's why we talk about positivism. Because this positivist perspective is going to focus on the expert opinion and the ability to use quantitative research or use statistics or use whatever this reliable data is to try to get you all to vote to come to a consensus about something. And that's going to be the functional perspective. That's going to be the mindset that you use as a functionalist. Whether you're talking about feelings or groups and our expectations or our different institutions. When you generate your consensus about what is normal, you're going to base that on an objective, quantitative, expert-based perspective about whatever that is. That's functional. But remember, a paradigm, again, that's just a frame of thought. That's a thought process. That's not the actual topic. So what you all are going to do for this homework assignment is absolutely amazing because you're going to be able to understand the context of thousands of theories that are written from these different perspectives. But you have to understand what you're doing when you write your essay. You have to understand what it is that you're doing. You don't have a specific subject matter that you're going to focus on using just one unit of analysis. Instead, you're going to pick a crime and you're going to talk about it using all three units. And if you can do that successfully, then I've achieved my goal of having you to take another step with regards to understanding what sociology is. Because by adding the paradigm, you understand that not only are we talking about interaction and relationships, we're talking about mindsets that people have. You know, when somebody says, I don't think she's on my level. I don't think he's on my level. You know, I don't think we're seeing the world through the same pair of sunglasses. What I'm trying to do by introducing the paradigm is to create like an umbrella in society for you. It's like an interaction umbrella because you're going to encounter different people who, given the subject matter, they're just not going to be able to see the subject the way you see the subject. So you could explain to them all day long how you think about it, why you think that, what the critical points are involved. You can explain your sentiment, your values, your emotions, but that person may be a functional thinker and you're a conflict-oriented thinker. And so when you get ready to interact with people, you have to know, is somebody basing this information on objective realities, specific norms, tradition? You know, are they unwilling to look outside of the box for the topic? Are they not going to focus on how people feel or what people's objectives were or what they meant behind it? Because they're just focusing on the fact that it happened. You know, she cheated. He cheated. I'm not dating them anymore because, or this person lied to me. Tracy is a liar. Once you lied, I don't care why you lied, or if you were trying to help me, or if you had to get out of something, or if there was a greater good. From a functional perspective, you lied, you're a liar, you're out. So these paradigms that we're talking about, these mindsets that we're talking about, is very useful when you start to think about how you're interacting with people and how they understand a situation. Because if you know off the bat, someone's showing you that they're a functional thinker about whatever this is, if you try to come in and negotiate an idea, you're using that conflict, that what are the values, how does this make somebody feel, who's losing, who's unequal here, what the imbalance is. If you're looking at something and you're all over here, they're probably not going to even listen to anything that you're saying because your words, your ideas don't match their mindset. And so even though this is just a theory, a paradigm, you know, sociology, this stuff helps your interaction with other people because you'll know what to say. When you're talking to somebody about a serious topic and their mind is on another level, whether it is the unit of analysis with regards to talking about feelings or talking about, you know, responsibilities or talking about, you know, the rules, the laws, the broader picture, if they're in a different level with that type of understanding, or if they're using a different mindset, these are all different reasons why you adjust how you communicate with somebody. If you know your mom has a certain attitude, sometimes as you get to know people, these theories and everything, they become a part of your life, a part of how you can negotiate ideas. And then it's no longer a theory. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, this person thinks with their heart, this person thinks with numbers. This person's going to think about the relationship, this person's going to think about how much money they get paid. That's when sociology becomes relevant. That's when this stuff is relevant. So at this point, when I start talking about units, and I confuse some of you a little bit by breaking it down into, you know, the micro level and stuff, for some of you, that may lose you, and it may lose this rational connection that you have with this information to reality and to life. I don't want it to do that. I want you to keep being able to practically apply this stuff so that it's helpful to you, so that it's not just a theorist, but it's a real life situation, and you can say, I can understand this from multiple perspectives. You know, I can see how somebody's thinking about this based upon this, you know, these are the rules, but I can also see how this other person is using their heart and thinking about this type of thing, and I have to figure out what works for me. Once you're able to think more broadly about topics, you can make better choices in life. Because you remember that you're going to apply all three units when you talk about that crime. In that first paragraph, you're going to explain and describe all three main ideas. So you make sure that when you talk about your crime, whether you're using functionalism or conflict theory, that you talk about the micro level, the organizational level, and the macro level implications for that particular criminal behavior. Make sure that you're only talking about one crime in paragraph 2. Make sure that you only choose one theoretical perspective for the entire assignment. So if you talk about functionalism in paragraph 1, you have to talk about functionalism in paragraph 2. So you're going to have one crime and you're going to have one perspective. And you're going to use all three units. That first paragraph is not going to talk about crime at all, because the first paragraph is all about the paradigm. Only about the paradigm. Because before you apply anything in the real world, you got to know your mindset. And that's for life. That's real life right there. Before you even make a choice, you have to know how you're even thinking about it. You have to know where your mind is. Don't you all know that? Don't you get that? Oh, you know what? I'm probably not going to call my mother at 3 o'clock because I had a bad day. And I know that she's going to get on my nerves. So I know that the conversation, paragraph 2, is going to go like this. Because paragraph 1, my mindset is right here. That's how you think critically. That's why this homework assignment is important for you. Not because it's about paradigms, not because it's about criminal behavior, but because you all have to be able to think about your mindset before you make a choice that is important or valuable to you. Homework means something for everybody. Think about that.